So hey guys, and welcome back to another video, another live stream, and today you join us at the start of a new era in GPRL. Today it's Cgprl Season 2, the first round here in Spa. It's the return of a very popular series, and as always, as it was just like in Season 4 of GPRL, I'm joined with Ryan.
Yep,
and
good to be back.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Ryan. And what you do is you join us in what is a now wet qualifying session in Spa. At the start of the session, Moraine stopped at pit exit and got disqualified weirdly. But at the minute, it's Yannick who leads the way currently in the pitch. Yannick is out on a lap, coming up Radiant now. We've got to try and not get that wrong today, Ryan. But Yannick retires, so in the wet, I don't think many drivers will be improving, but yeah, there's no teams now in Cgprl, it's all drivers, and as we mentioned, we've got a couple of things going on. We also have two new drivers, as the yellow flag's absolutely everywhere. Ooh, Mike is off, new driver Steve has spun round, so it's all kicking off in this qualifying session. But yeah, we have two new drivers. Lucas up in P4, pretty impressive debut, as Ryan did point out a moment ago, and it's Mike down in P7, not really getting in a representative time due to not setting a good lap, and then the rain came. Quite unfortunate for him, but yeah, this is the first time that I'm commentating that I have to look at it from not a team's point of view. Ryan, it's the same for you. It's a different approach now, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be more of a, well, obviously it won't be a team effort now. It'll be, like you said, just up to the drivers. So you would think that maybe the competition aspect could be different around here now, knowing that everyone's just racing for themselves. They're not racing with someone, they're just racing against them now. So you would think it would be a lot more interesting now with no team orders, nothing like that. Although people will still communicate, maybe the teammates will still communicate with each other. But
yes, I'm aware Yannick and Yano are. I'm aware Yannick and Yano are communicating, but Karim out of the session. P5 for Karim, continuing the trend. P5 to P3. He did win an award. Oh, that hasn't been uploaded. I'm gonna shut my mouth.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
That is ready for upload, actually. I've been a naughty boy and not uploaded it yet, but all drivers on the pitch, you'd expect them to retire unless they're going to chance it on going on another lap. But yeah, as we mentioned, Brawn GP001, the classic car, the incredible story of Brawn, of Honda going bankrupt nearly, I think. I'm not really sure, but yeah, Brawn came in. The drivers weren't sure if they were going to have a drive a couple of weeks before the season started. Brawn came in, brought this incredible design from under Ross Brawn and the technical team of the double diffuser, which revolutionised motorsport, and then the team of Button and Barrichello went on to win the first 6 of the 7 races in 2009, then didn't go on to race, well, the champion Jensen Button didn't go on to win one more round for the rest of the season and was crowned world champion. So there's your little F1 trivia lesson, and the drivers eventually retiring from the session as they won't improve. So Ryan, as always, let's have a quick quali rundown.
Well, Jarno and Yannick showing off already that they've got very good pace around the trucks. The 145 was roughly what we were expecting in the session. You guys doing very well to be, at the moment, best of the rest. Lucas, very good debut session, P4. Karim, P5, like you were saying, his favourite number at this stage. Sebastian with a decent result. Mike in the other, Mike, the other debut. Maybe not getting off to the best of starts, but he is ahead of Steve, who, well, didn't complete a lap, and he's also ahead of Moraine, who got disqualified for stopping in the pit lane, I think.
And I'm not sure if it's the same for you, Ryan, but if you look to the left of your screen, we have a car mounting an... Oh, it's sorted out now. But yeah, that's one for a little laugh. I had 2 cars on top of each other.
Oh, no, I wasn't paying attention.
Now we're loaded in. Yeah, we mentioned before we came on air that we would run... No, we wouldn't run. But it's probably going to be a non-stop race today. in the classic cars, there's one dry tyre compound which doesn't wear out that much at all. So, no, we do not have a mandatory pit stop, which Steve has just asked. No. So yeah, Felix on the live stream. Thank you, Felix, popping in saying good luck to everyone. Felix not able to race today, but confident he will come back. We can confirm teams actually. Should we do that now, right? Should we have a quick run through of the provisional teams so far for season 5 of GPRL?
Sure, go ahead. I don't have the list, so
okay,
it's all
I do.
you
Yes. So I'd say provisional because nothing's locked in, but the drivers, they are aware that they're not moving, or some of them aren't. So we'll go down the list, and it's Moraine and Felix staying together as we expected, and Moraine and Felix partnering up at Alfa Romeo. So that should be an interesting combination. Yannick and Jano both leaving their good old team and bringing in the joint constructors champions. Steve has left the session, so it'll be interesting to see if he can come back. But yeah, down the list, Mercedes. It all looked so good for them in season 4, so they've drafted in Yannick and Jano. The two stay together yet again. At Red Bull, Harrison moves with Tyler. Harrison stepping up from a reserve, did a good job in the last half of last season as a reserve. Tyler had some good races. I don't think it'll be equal success for Red Bull next season, as is usually the pattern with GPRL, but I think Harrison and Tyler have a lot to prove, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. Steve back in the session now, so welcome back, Steve, if he can take re-control of his car. Right on cue, Steve, come on, we're needing you here. Yeah, Toro Rosso's then empty, as we do have a couple of seats available. We're not quite a full grid yet. Then at Ferrari, Karim finally gets his move back to Ferrari. He's been asking for a move to Ferrari for, I believe, 2 seasons now. And yeah, he's got his move to Ferrari. He's going to partner with Damien. So Damien is the race winner from Austria, partnering up with one of the most consistent drivers from the midfield pack. Then at Racing Point, it's you guys partnering with Steve, an all-Spanish lineup at the Racing Point team. At McLaren, there's just one driver so far, that is Amar, looking to improve for next season. At Renault, it's Sebastian and Enrico stepping up. Williams is empty, and then at Haas is the OG pairing of Marcos and Alex. So, here we go, we're on the grid. Jano ahead of Yannick. Used to calling these two teammates, but not today. Moraine had a terrible qualifying, and he'll be looking to make up for it in the race. We're expecting a non-stop race, but it's Jano, front row of the grid, and it's lights out and away we go for Cgprl Season 2. It looks like Jano got away well. Yannick will challenge around the outside as into turn 1. Through La Source, it looks like everyone's keeping it nice and tidy. Steve lagging around at the back. Not great internet connection for him, but further back they're going side by side up Eau Rouge. That's Sebastian challenging Karim up the hills. We look further forward. I believe Yannick is having a run on his usual teammate Jano. It's side by side. I don't think that Yannick can get ahead into the braking zone, but he tries around the outside. Can't quite make it work. The Brawn yeah, Yannick and Jano still stay 1 and 2. Then it's you guys, Lucas, who's held P4 off the start, looking to challenge you guys, that is, up ahead. Karim runs through in P5. Then it's Moraine with a good start up to P6. No damage for him, so he'll be very proud of that start. Then it's Sebastian, P7. He backed off up Eau Rouge, I believe. And now it's Mike in the Brawn. I keep saying it's natural for me to go in the and you can see Steve lacking about at the back. But yeah, all drivers in the Brawn. Mike will be looking to make a bit more of an impression than this in his first GPRL race, but Jano leads the pack ahead of Yannick. You guys, Lucas, Karim, Moraine, Sebastian, Mike and Steve is how we go. Ryan, just run through the start for us as Steve leaves. I believe that's his internet, so a shame that for Steve, but yeah, Ryan, run us through the start.
It was a pretty balanced start across the whole grid, except for Moraine, who you can see has just gone up to P5 now, and he could be going up to P4. Coming
Oh,
into
there's a
turn
bit of
one,
contact,
but-
contact,
oh,
and
no!
is that Moraine? I think Moraine's round.
Moraine.
Yes, Moraine is round,
Moraine.
and he's hit his nose,
I think he clipped the inside curb as well. So.
and now he's got to do.
Sorry, he was on the outside curb. I think the tires just got caught up on the outside and he couldn't control it.
Well, that's a
I
right
don't think
shame
that
for
was
Moraine.
down to Karam, though.
Okay, so he's got to do another lap with a broken front wing and stop in a lap that you wouldn't in a race that you wouldn't usually stop in. So now it's Yannick trying to slipstream Yana down the Kemmel Straight and into Les Combes. It stays Yana ahead of Yannick. Both drivers looking punchy as there's quite a gap back. I don't think the times are quite right there, as there's definitely more than 5 tenths between Yannick and Ugaitz, but Ugaitz holding on to P3 good so far. Then it's Lucas, who hasn't really dropped off massively. There's sort of equal gaps forming between P3 down to P6, and then it is Mike, and he's pressurizing Sebastian. If he makes a mistake, he'll be right on it. But yeah, just a shame for Moraine there. I think that's pretty much his race run, unless there's a safety car further on into the race. As so yeah, Ryan, what did you make of that crash? I didn't quite catch it.
I think it was just the two cars going side by side. I think Karam might have went a little bit deep into the left-hander and maybe forced Moraine a little bit wide. And I think when Moraine went onto the curb, I think he just lost his traction on the right side of the car, and the car just swung round. So, well, we probably have to look at the onboards, but I think it was just him going off onto the curb.
We're on board with Yannick now. I believe the timings are finally sorting themselves out, so that is good news for us. DRS not enabled, no DRS in these cars, come on. But we follow Yannick up the hill, up Radion, thank you, and he's going to be slipstreaming his usual teammate Jarno, as Ryan mentioned at the start of the race. No team orders, as we are all one big team today in Cgprl. It's a return, and we're on lap 3 of 11 of this sprint race. No pit stops expected. Moraine, talking about pit stops, this is Moraine. He has stayed out with the damage, so he's going to try and bear with it for the time being. Interesting call, but you see the logic behind it. Looking further back, this is Karim. The cars behind are starting to bunch up slightly. Karim on the back of debutant Lucas. I think, oh, Karim goes a little bit wide there. I think Lucas could be quite proud of this debut run.
Yeah, he should definitely be. I mean, qualifying P4, and at this stage in the race, still managing to hold on to P4. It's a shame he isn't a little bit further up, maybe challenging with you guys, but it's definitely a good debut, and I think if he does take part, well, later on in GPRL or Cgprl, he'll
It's alright. It looks like Karim is now going to have a run round the outside of Blanchimont. Maybe there's contact, and I believe, yeah, Lucas is off.
Yep, Lucas is off. I mean, Karim, I think. I mean, from where I saw it, I think Karim just went into the back of him and then forced him off.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happened there. I don't really think Karim had the room around the outside there. I don't think Karim has got front wing damage.
It didn't look like he slowed down, to be fair. I mean, he could have just let off the accelerator a little bit, but he must just kept his foot planted. He didn't slow down, and if he did slow down a little bit, he might have not caused that incident. But
yeah, could have been a bit more patient. And the last time I was racing at this track in another league, got the win with my teammate turned race engineer Ryan. Fond memories, yep. Ryan?
Well, yeah, it was fond. Well, not from my side of the garage. Team weren't too happy with my side because I crashed up going up Radion twice in qualifying and in the race. So
it's a bit of an nightmare.
Yeah, I think I just had the setup wrong. I think I was maybe running too low wings. I wanted to run high wings at the back, but I don't think or no, we were running the same setup.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I think it was maybe just trouble with putting the throttle down. I think I maybe put too much power into the car going up, but I didn't want to slow down either to compromise my time, so it's kind of a nightmare either way.
Yeah. So yeah, I did. Yep, Ryan, you became a race engineer, and gave me a lot of useful information. Things went our way that day. Yannick gets a 5-second stop and go penalty for exceeding track limits, so that's Jana's pulling away. Jana has the fast lap at the moment. Not worth a point in Cgprl, but nevertheless, it's a nice little memento. Jana, he had pole. He's got the race lead and also fast lap. It will be a hat trick. He's pulling away from his teammate. I think he'll be very satisfied with this run.
He will, yeah. It'll be a good starting point from Jarno to finish the first race off with a win. So, yeah, I think after this one, if he manages to hold on to it, it'll definitely be a positive vibe to come off the race. So that would put Jarno in a better spirit throughout the rest of the Cgprl season.
Yeah, and Jarno hunting down his first official title in GPRL, I do believe. He's always been here, and he's definitely picked up in recent times. And Jarno looking good so far for the win. Another person we're talking about impressing, or who has impressed, I'd have to say you guys up in P3. He finished season 4 on a high note, picking up a podium in France, and I think you guys has got big things coming next season. I think he'd have a good season.
Yeah, I think so as well. Is it the Ferraris racing for next season?
No, the Racing Point.
The Race Point, okay. So yeah, I think he'll bring some good things, and hopefully he can score more points than the Force India did last season.
Yeah.
And he can maybe...
That shouldn't be a challenge.
Yeah, and he can bring them back up a little bit, because obviously last season Force India only scoring about
13 points.
And
I think it was 13. Ryan, I will check that for you. But it wasn't.
Because I think Harrison scored for Force India, did he? Or
yeah, we did have a couple of reserve scorers for us. Yeah, Force India 16 points in the end. So yeah, they'll definitely be looking to gain on that. It's possible. But yeah, I think you guys and his teammate, Steve. Steve is a proven race winner in GPRL. He dominated when his internet works. Singapore, pole. He didn't quite get the fast lap, but he dominated the race from out of nowhere. So I think Steve could be a title contender for next season. We've got so many variables and so many what ifs approaching next season. I think, as we said at the end of season 4, Ryan, we're in for a cracker. But focusing on this race now, Jana stretching his legs a little bit at the front of the pack. 1.9 seconds is the gap between him and Yannick. I keep thinking to say his teammate. That's going to be something we're going to have to adjust to in the coming weeks, Ryan. But Moraine, we're on board with him now, really struggling with the front wing. However, he goes quite wide out of Stavolo 2. He's closing in on Mike ahead, who's up in P6. I think that it's decent. He's gained a place on his starting position. I think he'll be relatively proud with his performance today, Mike.
I think he will. Yeah, it'll be something to take away, just like Lucas, although it's a shame where he is at the moment, but definitely earlier on in the race, that's something to take from it, to maintain P4 for that length of time for your very first race.
So Geitz has picked up a 3-second time penalty up Radion.
And of course it's going up. Of course it's going up Radion, the corner where everyone seems to get exceeding track limits there, including myself.
Yeah. So does Yannick at Lecom. So at the minute, this is putting Karim on for a podium, and I think Karim's been stepping it up another level in recent times. He'll be very happy with this. He is actually closing on you guys, so he may get the move done anyway and finish ahead on track. But had a little wiggle there, I think. at this point in the race, this is where you might start to see the tyres wear off. As we mentioned at the start, it is a zero-stop race. However, the tyres will start to drop off towards the end of the race. So it's a game of time management, and if you're sat in Jarno's position, you're in a good position, because at this point I know Jarno about the tyres, because he can see the statistics, he can see at this point.
I think just purely for safety, then I think he should come in. I don't think he should go in first. I think he should maybe wait for if the drivers behind pit. If they don't pit, then I think Jarno should just stay out, because I think that...
Yeah, I wasn't exactly talking about that, Ryan, but okay. I was thinking about tyre conserving.
Okay.
But no, thank you for the insight. That's an aspect I didn't think of.
It does make sense though, because I was mentioning pitting, and that's doing with tyre management. Like, does he pit onto new tyres? But
yeah, no, thank you, Ryan.
It's a little bit off topic at the end, but
I didn't think of that aspect, so thank you for that little curveball. But yeah, Karim is closing in onto the back of you guys. 1.2 seconds, sorry, is the gap. Just gone up to about 1.3. With just over 3 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It's going to be quite an interesting... Oh, Karim's off! Karim's off!
Oh, my
and
gosh.
round.
What's happened there?
I believe he touched the inside of...
Oh, and Sebastian tried to avoid him. Oh, very good. Oh! Moraine nearly got cursed by the ghosting of the car there. But yeah, Sebastian had to hop onto the inside curb like Karim probably did, and he nearly went off as well, but luckily Sebastian doesn't have damage. So Sebastian...
Karim does have damage though.
Maybe with you guys and Yannick with their penalties and stuff, you think Sebastian might actually get a podium out of this.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
Mike.
Is
yeah,
in
Mike.
This as well for possibly Mike. Sorry, for P4.
Right.
So,
however, Moraine has closed up.
Just in that one incident, it has changed a few things up a little bit.
So lap 9 out of 11. I was on board with Moraine through that final chicane. Getting a big slide there, Moraine. That is signs that. I don't think it's going to be specifically Moraine. I believe that the tyres are now going off Karim in the pits to fix that front wing.
Yep.
Shame
Moraine,
for Karim. Shame for Karim.
Oversteer again.
Moraine likes his oversteer, but Moraine, he's got a chance to salvage. But with that front wing damage, you can't get a good run, and without the DRS here, it's harder. It is harder to get a good run. You have to be very close. But I think Moraine will be able to get Mike, as Lucas is actually promoted to P7 after that. So that's something. And yeah, shame for Karim today, but I think there's positives that he will take also. And you know, not only is Moraine up on the back of Mike is also up the back of you, Sebastian, sorry, who actually has a very big gap to you guys. So dare I say, no commentator's courtesy, but dare I say that I think you guys will be good for a podium, and it might even... Oh, he goes wide there.
Oh,
that was wide. I need to stop talking. Yeah.
I nearly went I was just waiting to say it there, but he held it well. So
he did hold it well.
Thanks to him for holding that there. Which that's where I had my incident in season 3. Well, it wasn't my incident. I think it was the Force India had crashed into the wall, and the car kind of came onto the track, and then there was a Haas in front of me that got caught up in it.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off here, Ryan, but Moraine down the inside of Mike, I believe. Yes, it is Mike.
Mike's
side by side.
Back,
Mike is fighting back. That was fair.
Oh, and
push.
Moraine,
yeah, big oversteer.
Yeah, Moraines went onto the curb, so
that was fair by Moraine, I think. By Mike, sorry. But yeah, Moraine. We picked up on this in the season 4 finale. It looks like Moraine struggles on low speed corners, getting the foot down and getting the traction down, which has seen his demise almost in some races. And that is something Moraine, I think, I'm not sure if you're in agreement with me here, Ryan, but I think he should work on into season 5.
Yeah, I think especially, well, I'm not going to say too much about the calendar, but it'll definitely be a handy aspect, especially if you want to maintain your reigning champion. You want to
Bombshell.
You'll want to be You want to be good at every aspect of the track. You don't want to. If you have a weakness, then that could possibly cost you the championship. So
Yeah.
you've got to be consistent, and you've got to know the track well, and you've got to know when you can put the throttle all the way down and when you have to maybe be a little bit more conservative with it. So I think that's definitely a working point. If Bahrain feels he has to work on anything, it would definitely be low
Traction.
speed corners like turn 1 at Belgium. So
Jarno sets a
although
fast lap.
you were saying the tyres are wearing out. However, Jarno just setting the fastest lap.
Morain's got a
I
good
think
run
Moraine
now.
will get past
Moraine round the outside of Blanchimon. This will be quite an incredible move. Around the outside of Mike. He's going to get a good squeeze. I believe they're still side by side. I can't quite see on the off-board camera. Here we go. Into the bus stop chicane. Moraine has the inside line, but Mike's going to hold it. Moraine, he's going to have to try around the outside. A little bit of contact there through the final corners. They're now side by side. Down the start finish straight into La Source. Can Moraine get a good run, get a good braking zone, and into La Source? Moraine hops ahead on the final lap of the Grand Prix up into P5. Big moment there for Moraine. It'll be interesting to see now if he can get up to Sebastian and make that move. However, behind Mike is looking strong.
Mike's right up behind him. Yep.
Moraine with that front wing damage struggled up Radion, and now Mike tucking in for the slipstream. He's going to have to go around the outside if he's going to make the move. And into Laycom, he can't quite make it. Moraine gives him just a bit of a shove, just enough to push him off. Moraine, P5, very good move there. Nice little battle between the two of them, lots of respect between the two drivers. Obviously the most decorated driver in GPRL fighting the newest driver, or the joint newest driver in GPRL. In the form of Mike. Anyway, Jarno, he's dominated this race. Absolutely smashed it. He was one of the guys that really wanted Cgprl back, and he says he's put a lot of work in. He said he's feeling fast. He got pole. He's got the fastest lap at the moment, and Jarno crosses the line to win with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Jarno crosses the line to win the Belgium Grand Prix for the round opener, the season opener of Cgprl. Behind, Yannick completes a good run in P2. However, that may be converted later due to penalties. Ugait's P3, and that does look like a P3 that's going to stay. So great job for you guys. May even become P2. Sebastian is going to hold off Moraine to finish P4, Moraine P5. Good recovery from the opening qualifying incident. Mike P6 on his debut. And now we just have the last couple of drivers coming up to the line. I think positives to be taken for Lucas and Karim. Steve unfortunately disconnecting from the session. But that race got very interesting at the end. Lucas through the final corner now. I'm not sure if he's been pushing for fast lap. Can't quite get this yet. P7 for Lucas, P8 for Karim. I don't think he'll be best pleased with that. But Ryan, give us a quick race rundown when the standings come up, please. And what did you think of that race?
Oh, it was hectic further down the order. I think with the front three, it was a very quiet race for the likes of Jarno, Yannick, and also Ugaitz, who I believe at another track there was no trouble for him. He was falling off the leader, but he was keeping it to take that one home. So
yeah, Yannick P2, Ugaitz P3 on the podium. I believe that will be converted to P2 after the race. We'll have to see, but provisional results: Sebastian P4, Moraine P5, Mike and Lucas P6 and P7 on their debuts. Positives to be taken: Karim, the last finisher, in P8 after the two incidents, so not the cleanest race today for Karim, and Steve in P9 after the disconnection. That was a fun little race. So Ryan, successful re-debut of the Cgprl.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a really good one today. It was exciting to watch, as it always is.
As always,
you would have thought, well, Cgprl, it might not be as sort of intense as it is with normal F1, but it definitely lived up to it, and everyone's staying in the lobby. So if they want to do another race, I might consider joining. I'll ask in the group chat real quick. I'll see if the connection's holding up and see.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a successful re-debut, much shorter than what myself and Ryan and the drivers are used to. But yeah, I enjoyed that nice little short sprint race. We saw the tyre wear kicking in at the end, and yeah, next week we're back again, and we're going. Well, we're not, but it's the French Grand Prix in Senna's MP44 from 1988. So should be quite interesting to see who can master the Cgprl recard in the MP44. As you can tell, my voice is going. So on that bombshell, Ryan, unless there's anything you want to say.
No, I've got nothing to add.
No. So I'm going to leave it on this bombshell. Thank you, Ryan, for joining me.
No problem.
And we shall see you next time. Goodbye.